out like that though, and then completely ended too, which kind of pissed me off. All right, hello. I feel like if I sit back, it'll be a little bit better. Okay. Why? Ow. Fucking toe. Alright, there's people in here, but the question is, are they saying anything? Hello? No, no one's saying anything yet. Okay. Well, we are going to be doing a full live stream of my story a little bit. Okay. I'll try to wait like 5 minutes-ish so people can kind of like tune in. I tried to share it, but shared the stream, it like ended my stream. So hold on, let me like get situated here and everything. I'm about to be out of ciggies. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, excuse me. Hey, cool money. And like, why don't I see all your messages? I don't like this kind of like streaming platform way. Like, where the fuck did Jessica's message go? Hold on. Let me check something. Okay, yep, I can still moderate chat. We're good. This is, yeah, I rarely do it where it's ordered like, you know, this layout, unless I'm video gaming. But I feel like people like typically, you know, have their phone sideways and they're laying in their bed viewing this, so they have it in their hand sideways, so the screen's wider. I mean, I'm not expecting millions of people to tune in, but I'll give it another minute or two so people can tune back in and get to the right live. Because unfortunately, the one I shared, the links broke. Because that stream ended. But they can find me via YouTube, so. But, yeah, this is a live stream about my life story. You know, even if you were to view this in the future, besides viewing it live when it was live, I'm 31, born and raised American citizen in North Carolina. Had a mom, had a dad. Dad was in the Navy. My mom's typically been more in like the medical field and like taking care of the elderly. I'm 31, white, straight, STD free, single. It's a little weird doing a live about myself and like the whole story, man. Like, because I'm trying to not get into specific towns and stuff of where I'm at and just like stay in my state. But grew up in like a little home out in the country. Had neighbors. One of our neighbors was a Korean War veteran. But grew up like most kids, I guess, did in the 90s. I'm not sure how most other kids grew up in the 90s. But, we'd be out in the woods playing war, with stick guns nonetheless, sitting there. Me and my brothers and, like, my cousins and stuff. We'd either be playing capture the flag, hide and seek, or war. And we're over there with, like, stick guns sitting there being like, oh, I hit you and everything. And it's like, not, we're way the fuck over here. And you can just hear them yelling in the woods, oh, I hit you. It's like, no the fuck you didn't. I'm over here. Because, we didn't have paintball guns at the time. But we'd play war. We'd make little pillbox hideout things and shit like that. Climb trees and all this shit. We'd harass our neighbor a little bit. He'd be mowing the lawn. And like we'd get like the little hay pieces of grass, and we're so small we could like be up behind him, like under, like tucked in behind the lawnmower where you normally would attach a trailer to, and we would tickle his ear with the grass blade, and we wouldn't like break off from doing that until we got like back close, because like eventually he'd start looking back for what was going on, and then he'd see the two of us, because I have 3 brothers. Well, I have 2 brothers. I technically have 4, but unfortunately, a lady like manipulated my mom when she was underage into getting an abortion. So the baby daddy would have been different on that one, but the same mother. And then one of them was a miscarriage, and then it's my oldest brother, middle one, and then me. But he'd look over and he'd see 2 of us, and the third one would be like tucked up there behind him, like tickling his ear. Yeah, I mean, we kind of did the same thing too, because our dad showed us how to live off the land. I know how to hunt, all that, clean an animal, field dress it, everything. We were just like standard kids, out in the country, Uh, like I did have some weird things go on in my childhood though. Overall, it was great. Like the one weird part is though, because at this house I'm talking about, I'm growing up in right now. Uh, I gotta do this so I can like protect their identity. Um, there was somebody that would come over that I would hang out with, and she was a lady. She was a female, or what I presumed was a female, until like we had a bath together. We had a bath together, and like, homie, I know what a dick and balls look like, and she had it. Albeit though, like as a kid and everything, they had the long hair, the feminine features, everything looked like a chick on the outside, but it was a dude. It would be her idea to play doctor, and we would play doctor and all this shit. But at the end of the day, they were a boy. I was a boy. I don't know what happened, but like at some point, like we like separated, and like we really never really hung out anymore together. And like we were kind of close friends a little bit, actually, like inseparable. And I could get a lot more in depth than like that, but like would I see kids have to? I don't like the gender dysphoria type thing, but I guess at least they're having a choice these days. Because like bro, some parents don't give you a choice at all. They'll just throw you in that shit. I make jokes about it being like a fucking secret government program, but like nonetheless, you know, your parents want to do that to you. It's done and over with before like you're even like conscious and even like consciously aware. It's already done and too late. And like I don't want to rip all wounds up, but like that was kind of my childhood with that incident there. But like I said, it was brief, and like we split, and like I don't know, I was just a normal dude, and I was always into chicks and stuff. I was a real ladies man in like my early years. All the chicks loved me. I mean, they still do, but I had that happen, and then I had a life-death experience. Let me get a little bit further out so you can see me a little bit better on the stream, so you can get like a better angle. Put all my hair together here too. You have a ball. It sits in, like it's your bone in between your shoulder blades right here. It's like the base of your spine, of your neck. It's like a bone ball. You go like maybe a quarter-inch below that. From there, all the way up to here in the base of my skull. A trailer hitch ripped my neck from that distance there. And they had to flap the skin down and staple it back in place. I was like 6 at the time. We were at my granddad's. We were picking up sticks. It was something we could do because, you know, we were kids where you couldn't really operate heavy equipment yet. You know, maybe drive the lawnmower type thing if you could, like, reach the pedals comfortably. It's not like, oh, you can't, like, drive it. Still, like, you could still drive it appropriately and hit the brake. Let alone, you know, you ain't gonna get a hedge trimmer. We weren't getting a hedge trimmer at like 6 years old type thing. Or like them being like, at that time, they're a few years ahead of me, you know, like early preteens. Or a chainsaw. We weren't getting one of those yet. Just for like obvious safety reasons. But we were driving around picking up sticks. And then I walked in front of the lawnmower, the parking brake on the lawnmower to keep the lawnmower on and you actually get off of it and it keep running. That failed. And when that failed, it grabbed my leg and pulled me up under the fucking lawnmower, and that's how it ripped my head from there. And then, you know, they had to flap it down. I mean, I immediately got up after the fact. And I mean, I can see, like, there's like a garden section here where this, like, it wasn't like, this happened like on the skirts of a woods where we're picking up sticks. But when I got up there, I could see like my mom and my older brother in this garden section and them running towards me because my middle brother's over there fucking wigging the fuck out. And like, bro, like I almost lost consciousness a bunch that whole ride to the hospital. And this wasn't a wait around for the ambulance to get there. This was like I was in the car and I'm in the back about like I just saw light and light. The standard thing everyone sees. I just saw light and it was just everything was getting bright. That's it. Every time I'd like close my eyes and like start to pass out, it would just start getting bright white. But I'd always snap back into consciousness before I'd like pass off into unconsciousness, so to speak. You know, but it got to the hospital, you know. From what all I can remember is they just pretty much put me on a table, slapped me down, fucking flapped that back, stapled it shut. It healed itself back normal. They ripped the staples out at some point and they gave a cleaner, like an antibacterial thing to go down in the holes and clean it out. And that shit burned. My cousin would be over thinking my parents were in there like torturing me or something when they're just cleaning my like staple wounds. Because I got a staple like you would damn near see like in construction, or they're like that long and that like, you know, they're like that long, that are in the like U rectangle shape. If it were to like have another staple with it, like the ends don't curve in on these staples, like it's where it goes in. It's like a fucking staple nail. And they had to clean those holes where that was after they pulled it out, and them pulling it out did not feel good. Them doing that did not feel good. That was one time. I remember I got out of the shower, I forgot my clothes, and my brother like was like keeping the door shut to the laundry room. Because when you come out the bathroom, like when you go to our like kitchen, it went to a room, which is like a room to like the back door. But like that's where the laundry room was, and I forgot my clothes, but he was in there like holding the door shut because it opened out, and he was holding it shut. And like I was like beating on the glass, and my hand broke through and like sliced my wrist here really bad. I mean, it wasn't so bad where I had to get stitches, but it sliced it to the point where they had to glue me shut. That one wasn't that bad. We were playing War in the House. My brother had a gun stock, and then like I was coming around a corner, like crouched over, and like as I was coming around the corner, crouched over, he was pulling the gun stock up. And it popped me in my eye. And like I started bleeding from my eye. This one, I didn't almost pass out in this incident, but like I was bleeding from my eye real bad. They had to glue that shut. I've got my foot ran over by one of those like old 80 Mustangs. Didn't break my foot or anything. You know, my dad was coming home. My dumb ass was just a kid happy to see daddy. You know, daddy. And then I put my foot a little too far out and it got ran over. It didn't break or anything. Like we went fishing one time. I fell into the river. I've had to get pulled out of that. This one I was like young too. I mean like 4, I think, like 5-ish maybe. I'm trying to hit like the brief, like the big periods, like my childhood. you know, straight A student for the most, like a literal straight A student. We didn't have to try at all. Was just a straight A student. Especially like my early years. Uh, you know, especially like 1 through 5, like 5th grade. Um, really a straight A student. And even then, I was still like a straight A student, even in middle school and stuff, because at a certain point, if I was failing, my parents would take away my technology and demand I get like A's before they gave my technology back. Because unfortunately, if I've been a 100% straight A student, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, ooh, I can't get this. They know I'm being lazy, and like, you know, and they knew what was causing me to be lazy, and like, you know, my grades would shoot right back up to A's, and I'd get my gaming system back. And then I'd start slacking off, but I'd slack off in the point to where I still had A's at the same time. So I was like a big nerd growing up, big into video games. I was literally 2 years old operating the VCR. I loved me some Jurassic Park. I watched Jurassic Park so much that my parents had to hide the fucking film because they know it word for word. Like, I'd watch it like every day, maybe like 3 times a day type shit. I was big with the ladies. It's just, I don't know. I could have done something with like the girls I was with in elementary school, but like, I don't know. They were going to a different school. I was going to a different school, and it was like summer vacation. And I kind of was just more like in boy mentality. Like, bro, I get to play video games all summer and like play capture the flag and hang out with like the boys all summer. Like, I can give a fuck about hanging out with a chick right now. It's boring. She gonna want to do boring things, you know. I was like, typical boy man mentality at the time. So I was like, that's boring. I mean, I was a big ladies man. Um, Trying to think all in my childhood and get everything. Oh yeah, but like some of our neighbors though, if we were out exploring the woods, if we weren't careful, we almost got me and my middle brother almost got our heads blown off by like our next door neighbors. I was walking through the woods, and thankfully, like, he stopped me, thankfully, because I kept about to keep walking forward, and like he stopped me, and we like hunkered down behind this log. As we're hunkered down behind this log, you see this guy like walking the outskirts of the woods, and he's got a shotgun, man, and he's just like patrolling his fucking land. We assumed they were like a bunch of drug addict, like meth head type, like crackheads. But you know, we got out of Dodge there. You know, if you were in the bedroom, we all shared a bedroom, but we had a bunk bed, and there was one bed there. It was originally 2 bunk beds, but they cut the top half off, and like, you know, you know, the bottom half was sturdy on its own. But if you were laying in the room and you see the shadow of the door of the bathroom, it would be opening and shutting on its own. It wasn't like the bathroom had a draft or anything. And then if you were laying on the couch, you could see the bathroom through like the doorway. Like, albeit the doorway, it would be like on the wall here, but you're like laying on the couch this way and the doorway is there. You could see through, because there was like a middle room that we had, like, that were fish and stuff originally, but like by the time I came around, they were like lizards and shit in there. But you could see through there, and you could literally watch the door open and shut on its own. We had a bunch of chimney fires. I went through a couple tornadoes. I still remember my dad yanking me out of the top bunk and everything, and running me to the closet, and my head bonked on the side of the door frame. I still remember that. I just remember getting woken up in the middle of the night and doof, my head hits the side of the door frame. You know, he was like, "Oops," you know, but like I got what was going on. Went through that. Me and my mom went through one. It was just me and her at the house, and that was a bad one. I want to say that was like when one of the F5s or like F3s touched down in North Carolina back then. We went through that, and like thank the Lord we got through that. You know, we went through chimney fires to a point where our house almost burnt down. You know, we had really shady people come around the house sometimes, to a point where like it kind of like got the house locked down one time, like quite literally. uh Albeit growing up, me growing up was a little bit different than my other brothers growing up, because from what I've heard in the stories I was told, they were a little bit more stricter with them. But even when I was growing up, it was still strict. Like, no, homie, you had to make your bed to where a literal quarter bounced off of it. We were kind of like a little bit militarized a little bit there. We had to have a quarter bounce off our fucking bed. If not, it wasn't good enough. And it had to be remade, and there couldn't be like any creases in the bed sheet and all that. Like, it had to be perfect. It eased up though, especially when I came around. From what I've heard, it really eased up when I was born. I was like the hard, you could say, especially when I came around. And that's kind of like, I'm trying to like think of everything and summarize up my early childhood. It's still a lot more, like there's a lot more I could go into, because I'm a big game nerd. Like, you know, Christmas would come around, and our family was really nuclear. So like when Christmas and like Thanksgiving events happened, like it was my mom's side and my dad's side all coming together every Thanksgiving and Christmas, and like they would like really give gifts to the kids and everything. And like we'd usually get like PlayStation games, besides like the typical toys and shit that we'd break in 5 seconds. Swear to God, if there's anything that's labeled indestructible, give it to a group of children and they'll fucking destroy it in 5 seconds. Just give it to them. But trying to see if I want to say I want to get all the major events in my childhood. Because other than that, it was standard school, hanging out with people, chatting. I mean, we did have another person that was a girl that like was really a boy, because I remember like somebody slapping me on the arm, and because they saw it, they burnt their hand. They want me to burn my hand, but it was like somebody that was supposed to be a girl, but they didn't have their underwear on, and they definitely weren't a chick. That's for sure. Um, uh, well, no, I almost got ran over by a car or a truck. I was beating my brother in a fucking bicycle race, and I was too busy looking back, and I should have looked forward. And like by the time I look forward, and like there's a truck in front of me, but I have done jumped off and like flew around the side of the truck at this point. Thankfully, it had stopped at a certain point, because if not, I would have got ran the fuck over and killed right there. Like, the Lord has been like protecting me for a very, very, very long time. Paranormal wise, though, I think the only thing outside of the bathroom door and all that being weird, the weirdest thing I ever had happen was where I woke up one morning, I kind of woke up before everyone else. I go decide whether or not I needed to wear a jacket that day or pants and stuff, because usually if I can kind of maintain the cold temperature that I walk out in, I was like, if I'm walking from my car to school, I can really be in shorts. Like, yeah, it's going to be cold out here, but like I could really be in shorts all day. That's how I kind of analyze my day. But when I went out this one morning, something from the woods called my full-blown ass fucking name from the woods. And unfortunately, like, I answered back. But I had something call my full ass name from the woods, and like, I went back in. Because I damn well know everyone was inside. No one got around out, like, even though I was a kid, yeah, but like, where the, like, if you're on my back porch and where the sound actually came from is beyond creepy. And like, it kind of makes me like nervous. I wouldn't say nervous, but gives me goosebumps and stuff to talk about. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm on my back porch, and I mean, you're talking about over 300 yards away, and it coming from the woods back there. And I mean, it's my full name. That shit had me like wigged the fuck out. Because when I heard that, I was like, hello? And then, like, I never got a response back because I knew everyone was inside. And I was just like, yeah, that ain't right. And then I ran the fuck back inside. But yeah, other than that, like, nothing really, like, significant. Like, every day is significant. I'm not trying to say it's not, but like, in a summed up summary of like my early childhood, you know, we're talking about like, you know, 5 through like, you know, not even like maybe 5 through 8, because at a certain point we did end up getting a new house. We ended up moving. I still got to stay at the same school. That was kind of an annoying thing to fight for. Because usually when you live in a different district, they want you to go to that school in that district and we had to fight for the fact that it was easier for us to go to this school because our dad went to work here, so it'd be easier because we're on the way. He can drop us off, still get to work on time, and then if need be, still come pick us up from school. But you know, our mom would more or less get off work at that time to pick us up more than anything. He got off when we were about 5 o'clock. He was an electrician. He was in the Navy. He never really talked much about it. The only stories I ever heard is like my mom put his like Navy picture up one day. Unfortunately, that's the one I made his obituary picture too. But the same picture, she said he came home, he saw it, and he like grabbed it, threw it on the ground, and like stomped it the fuck out and said, "I hate that fucking thing." He never talked about much, and I mean, I pressed him and everything, I pressed him, because I don't know what it was. There was like a guttural instinct in me that like the shit he was saying just didn't add up. Because I mean, he like, and the more I think about it at the age I'm at now, he was just way too calm and patient with everything. But all he ever told us was he was on a tugboat, and that's all he did. He was on a tugboat in the Navy, and that's all he ever did. He might have talked about like a couple paranormal stories that I've mentioned on the stream, where like if you were on the shitter and you're looking at the doorway that's closed to the shitter, that's got a vent at the bottom of it, you would see a shadow standing there, but no one's there. Other than that, there was like a UFO incident where he was on the ship, he said, and like it locked up the radar. Like whatever flew by, the radar tried to track it, but it couldn't track it. Like it tracked it, but it locked the fuck up from tracking it. It just said nope. That's about as much as he ever talked about. Other than that, no, nothing. He was just on a tugboat and didn't do shit. Albeit, though, I gotta loosely talk about it. After he passed, I got to read things about him that it didn't make sense. And it kind of made more sense then after I read these things. Because at the end of the day, I mean, like, me and my dad's relationship was great. Me and my middle brother, and my middle brother's relationship with my dad was rough. I mean, it was rough from, like, at all times. It was rough at all times. From, like, early childhood, middle school, because he kind of got that wigger mindset in his middle school days, as they call it. He got really stuck in that mindset his middle school days, and, like, then he dropped out of high school and all that. But I'm not here to, like, divulge his life story. But either way, he was a real patient person and really didn't get out of his way and, like, degrade anyone. He always wanted better for us and everything else. He wanted us to be better than what he was. And he would say if we ended up like him, he would be disappointed in us, because he wanted us to be better than him. And it's not that he was putting himself down. He would do that all the time too, ironically enough. But, like, I'm sorry, somebody making about $50,000, $60,000 a year, that's not too bad, especially, you know, at certain time frames here. Like, but, you know, I had a really good childhood. And I'm trying to sum up, like, the early one and, like, kind of getting my family a little bit. Because my mom was more like a stay-at-home mom. I mean, yeah, she'd have a job and work and everything, but she was really there for us, like, all the time. You know, standard mother-father arguments, you know, growing up. Albeit, I can't say he was making $50,000, $60,000 all the time, because there's some, like, weird shit going on with his work or something, because I even watched that happen. Because, like, we did have hard times, though, from time to time. Because there'd be something weird going on with his work. Especially when the son took over the business he worked for. It's like, it started, like I remember the only thing we really had to eat in the house was, like, I was a kid at the time, but the only thing I really, like, could eat at the time was, like, fucking crackers and, like, Lay's barbecue chips. I remember, because our parents would leave us alone, because, like, my oldest brother at the time, he was like 13, 14 at this time, you know, he was the oldest. So they could kind of leave him alone on his own. He's pretty responsible. But yeah, they came in with that. You know, standard birthdays, family. But, like, you know, I got older, we got our new house. That house was haunted too. You know, I might jump back a little bit here, but I will move on kind of more towards my early teenage, like, adolescence now at our new house. Because it was kind of still the standard routine. But we got this new place. It was kind of great, but we were really far from everyone. I enjoyed it. But, like, when people wanted to come over and spend the night and stuff, it was a little difficult. Oh, wait, and actually, I speak of that, we got to go back to the adolescent days a little bit, because I did hang out at someone's house, and they had a zip line. And and I got on that thing and I zip lined. But I didn't think about when I got to the end and like letting go, and I didn't let go and like slammed like on my side and ribs into the tree. Oh, wait, one more actually traumatic experience I forgot to admit through my childhood, now that I realistically think about it, is my middle brother and my cousin tried to ditch my ass out in the fucking woods, bro. If it weren't for my dog, I wouldn't have got back home that day. Because when we went out in the woods, this is the way we went out in the woods that we typically don't go. If we were to go out in the woods, if we were to hook left and go left and like go really deep in the woods that way, I was good to go 9 ways to Sunday. They wanted to go right. They went right. And then at certain points we go right, they ditch me and leave me. I don't know how long I'm out there, but at a certain point I know I'm out there on my own because I'm with my dog too, nonetheless. And I kind of remember the area where I'm at. And like, I'm out there on my own. And like, I have to pretty much look at my dog and talk to an animal to get me the fuck back home. And dude, the dog gets me back home too, by the way. I come back in the house. My mom is like, where the fuck have you been? I was like, they ditched me. They ditched me. If it weren't for the dog, I wouldn't have got back, y'all. I would have still been out in the woods. Literally. If it weren't for the dog, I still remember that, man. I remember as a kid looking at my dog, please get me home. Like, it's like, buddy, it's time to go home. Please get me home. Please get me home. Like, I'm following you. Please get me home. Because my dog stayed with me the entire time, with me. Because the dog we had a chow, and we had this like mixed mutt type thing that like really looked like a dingo, like a long hair shaggy dingo. That was his coloration. He was a beautiful dog, and like he was a good dog too. Like our parents could like play spank us, and he would come in and be like, and start like, you know, not biting their hand hard, but like back the fuck up. That's my puppy type thing. You know, he was a really good dog. But if it weren't for that dog, I wouldn't have got back. I probably got lost in them woods. I could have died. I want to say I got through my like early childhood and let me actually now move on to like my new home we had here. Like I was in like 4th grade-ish at the time. You know, what was going on earlier was more like 1 through 3rd grade at the time. And then around 4th grade, I ended up kind of getting a new place in the middle of that year. And it was like kind of peaceful out there and wonderful. There was like a bunch of overgrown like privet stuff, but we ended up clearing that all out, and we saved that for years when we cleared that all out. We ended up burning that, and I'll get into that story here in a minute, like as I go further in. But you know, we're kind of at the 4th grade time. I was here from 4th grade till about 2 years after graduation, which would have been about 2004 to 2014, is where like this is where we lived and our house was, and like my parents owned and everything. Again, standard stuff is like I was 1 through 3rd grade, you know, straight A student. Straight A student without even trying. Big into video games, man. I was a real big video game nerd. We lived at this place though. I did end up meeting some neighbors. Like I kind of was like I was the oddball of the family that somehow got out and like kind of connected us with the community and like learned who everyone was in the community and then like developed friendships through that way. Ended up going to church with this one family that used to live down the road from us. All that, go to school, you know, friend shit, hang out. We started, like, we were still playing video games, but live. Xbox Live started to come in more 6th grade. We still had video games and everything, and it was more like LAN parties and stuff at this time, and like split screen and people coming over, and we're all playing games because, you know, my brothers are at school too. They have their friends, they come over, spend over the night. I really didn't invite any friends over till like high school. I'd occasionally have people over, very few, because I was like a big nerd, antisocial nerd, man. I'd be lost in my games, man. I really would. I love that shit. I kind of miss that shit. Not a whole lot happened out here. A lot did happen out there, but in the essence of like life-threatening situations, it's iffy. Let me think on it a little bit more while I go take a piss. So if y'all gotta pee and all that stuff, like now's a good time to do it. I'm gonna run and go pee, and I'll be right back. I'm getting my whole life story out in this stream, so if someone wants to know like kind of A through Z with me, they will. I'm not getting too in depth with details, but we'll get through this. Okay, I'm back. I'll try to give people like 30 seconds-ish to come back. Let me read a little bit in the chat here, though, and answer this. I'm doing all right, Albert. Chevy, yeah, you were probably blocked last night. I was blocking everyone. Occasionally fun. Train, I will use the spigot behind me. Yeah, same here, Cool Money. I try not to like really like harm nature, just because there's such abundance like in the city that goes to waste. At what point do I really need to go hunt something with all this food going to waste? Like I know how to hunt. I'll hunt if I need to, but like at the same time, there's no need for me to kill it. But, you know, let's get on with the story. 4th through 12th grade. Okay. Again, again, as I was saying, pretty big antisocial nerd. Still pretty big with the ladies. And it's until I got to middle school. I feel if I would have went to the middle school that I went with like my elementary school class, I'd have been a lot better off. But when I went to middle school, I pretty much went to an entire new middle school where I didn't know anyone. Like no one knew me. I ended up making friends, of course, like I do. People gravitate towards me. I've begun to, like, not begun. I've realized this. Like, people gravitate towards me, they like me. And like, if at some point, like, I fracture, like, you know, cut the relationship off, like, they wig out. Um, rather than being glad my burden off the you is gone. But not a lot will happen. I mean, we'd go to vacations and stuff during summer vacation. We'd go up to like Maine. We'd go to the beach. My uncle did have a cabin on the boardwalk of Atlantic Beach there. Um, but you know, life's life, and he don't own it anymore. But if anyone's been in here when I've streamed at the plaza, like the strip mall plaza thing, uh, you know, the beach, like the little ocean is like on the other, like, you know, pretty much where the road is on the other end of that parking lot right there. Like, I mean, like we were on beachfront, like it's boardwalk at Atlantic Beach. I mean, it's beachfront. I mean, if I skipped right through the neighbor's front, like the side of their house, like I'm right on the beach, about to be in the ocean in less than a minute. Like, beachfront. Um, we'd go to like Maine, uh, hang out with a bunch of people. Uh, a lot of my mom's side of the family, because I'm like, I ain't trying to divulge all her personal information out. Because she kind of wants to be private of the stream. I don't know. She might want to be on it. Who knows? Her opinion might change. But last I ever asked, she said she wanted her privacy respected. But she was a foster child. Her father, unfortunately, was sexually abusive to her, and like physically abusive to her, like her legitimate biological father. Her mother, unfortunately, passed away when she was 16. Like I said, she was forced to get an abortion when she was 16 as well. And then her sister, her literal biological sister, I mean, as much as I sit here and say the things I say in my prayer and everything, like, there's more to it that I gotta, like, it looks like I'm focusing on myself, but as soon as I get myself good, there's other issues I'm immediately gonna point on people because they can't seem to find her sister. The FBI can't. And at the end of the day, I don't even see a missing report on that person at all. And if you can't find somebody, there should be a missing report there. And if the FBI say they can't find you, there's a definite missing report going to be there. And it's like a cold case file type thing. That's there, that's going to be an outreach to the public to figure out where the fuck they're at. And the fact the FBI isn't doing that is a major serious issue. And then, like, I really want to be loose into the fact on her brother because, like, I'm not like I don't like having loose lips because I don't want to sink ships. But her brother was a fucking Navy SEAL, nonetheless. And then, like, her foster family has a very heavy military background as well. I'm very quiet about it on the stream, but if I'm gonna get in my life story here, I'm not gonna get into specific branches. But like at the end of the day, like, I come from a very, very heavy regulated, like life-changing military, like law enforcement, government background, family-wise. I'm just very, very quiet about it because I say it on my streams all the time. It is a small world. You can get on a plane today and land on all 193 countries in the world, recognized by the United Nations, in less than 24 hours. And it's something I'm very quiet on. I do respect, I'm just very quiet on. A very serious background that, like, you know, should start to make people understand me a little bit better. Kind of why I'm also leading to doing this stream, and why I do the things I do. So it helps you better understand me. But that, and you know, the vacations and stuff like that, that was kind of like, you know, even like in the earlier period before I moved on to, you know, like 2004 through 2012. This is kind of still the same time frame. Like, I'm almost getting into middle school days. I'm trying to make sure I touch everything here, like really key things. And like, I'm still focusing on moving forward the conversation, but going back to what I was talking about, where I come from, it's kind of like an Eminem lyric, bro. I mean, if you have the whole world in your hand, are you going to grab it or are you going to let it slip? Albeit he doesn't say the world. He says a lot more other things, but, you know, long story short, if you have the world in your hands, would you grab it or let it slip? So, I don't know. I'm trying to take my own way with it. I ain't trying to live in no one's shadow. I'm going to put my own fucking little stamp on that bitch. Just boom! What's up, bitch? Say my name! Bam! Like, but anyways, before I get too caught up in that. Like, yeah, like, I was, like, a huge, major, like, nerd. I guess I can kind of get into this, because this was in the time frame through, like, 4th grade through, like, 12th grade, because, like, at a certain point, we did get live, like, Xbox Live, and I started to pretty much become a professional gamer. I just, like, never, like, streamed myself, because the internet was all new and all this stuff and everything else. But, like, at the end of the day, we were like pretty much professional gamers. So, like, when I realistically look back at it, me, my brothers, and all our friends were professional gamers. As adolescents, because like these were like Halo 2 days and shit like that. You know, I know they had Xbox Connect and all that with the PC. PC was pretty big, and I know they had internet back then. Because I used to love catching those, like, I guess they were Call of Duty or Battlefield, like, MLG tournaments, like, on the weekend. Because it'd be some, like, conquest map, it'd be some snow map, it'd be bunkers, and it'd be, like, some World War II game, because it was, like, the U.S. versus the Nazis. Or, no, it was, like, the Nazis versus the Russians or something at the time. And if there was a different map, it'd be, like, U.S. versus Nazis. But either way, big game nerd, Halo 2, I mean, made multiple accounts, but, you know, got up to level rank 38. I know the highest is 50, but, like, when you get to rank 38, I mean, even, like, early 30s, high 20s, you're dealing with, like, major cheaters. I mean, hackers that come in, they got a full automatic BR, you die in one shot, they're invulnerable, like, you know, they got super speed, they hit you once, you're dead. You know, they're, like, standby or blue screeners, which pretty much, like, if you were playing Halo, it would, like, if you got host and you were to, like, throttle your internet connection, everyone that was connected to your internet would go on a blue screen. That'd be a loading screen. And the host could run around and kill everybody. And albeit you're over here just running into a wall like this, and the host could come up behind you and just, boop, kill you. Pretty easy. Like, blue screening was terrible. And especially once you get into high 20s, like early, like before 30, it gets real, real bad. So getting a 38 on your own takes some skill. We went against that little poison person. Like when we were kids, that person was not a professional Halo player at all. Someone over embellished that back in the day. I mean, bro, we waxed them 9 ways a fucking Sunday in a heartbeat. That was big. Like, I was big in Halo 2, and then I got caught up in Battlefield Modern Combat on the Xbox. Like, I got in the literal top hundreds on, like, every leaderboard in that one. Like, the kills and, like, the points per hour and everything, I was in the top 10s, hundreds. I'd have literal adults, like, talking shit. And I was like, I'm, like, 12 years old at the time. Like, literally talking absolute shit to me. And I would just respond back being like, bro, I'm 12. Like, you know, my squeaker voice coming back through the voice message. Like, sir, I'm 12. Like, why are you yelling at me like this? Albeit, though, if my parents weren't home, I'd be like, you stupid motherfucker. Because the internet's tainting. It will taint you. Because when I first started playing, I remember the first days playing Xbox Live. It was, oh, nice shot, man. Good kill. Like, you know, good job, brother. Like, you know, really good sportsmanship. And then that turned into, fuck you. You suck. You're a fucking noob. Stop. Like, you suck. Like, it morphed me. I'll admit it. And I ain't saying this for people to be like, oh, God, we got a demonized game and, like, the ban hammer. Like they're doing everywhere, like banning the internet and everything else. Like, no. I started acting that way when my parents weren't around. I was unsupervised. Now, if somebody in that chat would have snitched on my parents, that shit would have stopped in a heartbeat. And I would have been mad because someone snitched on me. But, hey, before you crucify somebody, they weren't there. This is unsupervised talk. This is them going to the store at the time. And it's me and my brothers together, like, and they'd be saying what they were saying. Like, no. Before you go crucifying anybody and demonizing anything. I remember those days. I was a pretty big professional gamer, man. I just never, like, made montages and all this other shit they did. I mean, like, we were so good, our dad wanted to, like, invest in us. And, like, literally, like, sponsor a team. That's how good we were. And we'd have, like, massive LAN parties. Because, mind you, like, my older brother, he started getting, like, he was big into, like, music. He was a big sports freak music guy. Like, I mean, you ask him, like, some of the questions I get here with bands and stuff, he might know the name to it. I don't know. Some of the bands you ask me seem like some new age, like, woke shit, so he probably won't know the name to that. Could he play the music? Probably pretty easily. He just don't like it. Like, he's really good. He's been playing guitar for a while. I don't know why he, like, ain't streamed it or, like, tried to stream it or make videos, like, teach people how to play instruments and all that. I mean, he's, like, financially well off anyways with his career and everything, but I don't know. I see a window there for him that, like, I just don't know why he don't take it. I mean, he might have took it for all I know. I don't know. Like, me and my family these days, we don't talk much. I mean, I'm still in, like, the early days, you know, 4th through 12th grade. We ain't gotten into the cyber soccer situation and all that shit yet. We're going to get there. Don't worry. I gotta loosely talk about that just for legal issues and everything else, but I'm getting through everything on this one. I'm gonna try to get it all fucking wrapped up in one stream here. And I'm not trying to put a lot of my family business out here and all that. Like, I'm trying to, like, really beat around the bush a little bit for, like, privacy and legal reasons. But I'm trying to give y'all an open, honest picture about, you know, what you've invested in. Like, I mean, like... But yeah, I was pretty much just, like, a big nerd. All through, like, 4th grade, middle school, like, elementary school. I was a big ladies' man. I really was. But like when I hit middle school, like my lady man skill went, it plummeted. Like, bro, I got literally rejected by every girl. And I mean, I went to a dance. And I mean, it wasn't like one time I got rejected by every girl. I went to dances at middle school. It would like literally ask every girl to dance with me, and no one would dance with me. Ever. Ever. They all said no. I literally got rejected by everybody in my middle school class. And then, like, when I got to high school, there was a lot of women I was interested in if I would stop being a fucking pussy and just stuck my tongue down her throat. It probably would have been a different situation today. But I pretty much got rejected by all of them, too, at the same time. I don't think it would have changed anything different. I think if I tried to stick my tongue down the throat, it just led to me getting slapped. But I pretty much got rejected by all of them as well. And then anytime I was like working a situation to like muster up the courage to ask somebody out, they'd be like, "I got a boyfriend." I mean, I remember making up a whole bullshit story to ask somebody out on my track team. And on the ride home she was giving me, she's like, "I got a boyfriend." And I'm just like, God, that's the whole point of this ride. Because, like, because other than that, it's, you know, I was rejected by all chicks. I was a big nerd through, like, middle school. Nothing, like, really significant happened. Albeit, I'm not saying it wasn't fun. Like, a lot happened, but like in the level of like, you know, I'm getting abandoned, or, you know, like, nothing like, I mean, like, maybe we thought somebody was stealing mail from us. And like, I was hiding in a spot, my brother was hiding in a spot, my other brother was hiding in a spot, because we were like forming a perimeter. And like, while I was in the perimeter, something was throwing something at me. Kind of like how people describe Bigfoot when they throw like throw a little pebble at you. Yeah, Bigfoot, albeit if you're in a territory, they'll throw a big old rock at you, but sometimes they'll throw a little pebble. It like I had little pebbles getting thrown at me. You're a Russian. I'm sorry. I gotta ban you for now. It doesn't help the current situation that I'm in that mindset either. Like, we need a ceasefire over there. Like, but before I digress, let me keep going on with my story. Because at the end of the day, long story short, though, before I'll digress a little bit more on the Ukraine-Russian war, I'm gonna have to block the Russians. But at this point in day, if we don't get like a new 38th parallel, Ukraine's dead and gone. So the next time fucking Russia tries to mess with Ukraine, no, we're there. It's not, oh, we're not, we might be there. No, we're there because we formed this new 38th parallel. Like, no, homie, you're fucked. At this point, the only way you can save Ukraine is if America comes balls deep in. Right now. Like, that's the only way. Because that state get involved at that point. But before that happens, you're better off trying to form a 38th parallel. A new one. I don't care what Putin said. Oh, they can't be, no, like, motherfucker, you want peace or not? I just am making bases here. I just got people here. So you don't fucking keep throwing bombs. There's going to be a dead American there, and there's already dead Americans there through the tourism there, but they were brushed under the rug, and Ukraine is not being able to recapture other places like Izium. Like, albeit 99.99% of those people that are going to be in those graves were Ukrainian. 100% not going to argue that fact. But that 0.01% were NATO tourists. And those hard-minded Americans going, bitch, I'm American, I ain't leaving here. I'm keeping my American ass right here. They got chucked into the meat grinder, along with everyone else. The people they don't talk about. Like, no, legally, we could all be, and NATO could be involved in that war, legally speaking. It's just the government typically looks at the average citizen of their country and it's like, oh, you're worth nothing to me. No, motherfucker, if I'm the leader of your country and someone kills you, and I, like, no, homie, like, and I didn't kill you, like, homie, they gonna die. And I ain't trying to freak you out with some conspiracy theories when I say I'm gonna kill you. But I'm just saying, if I didn't kill, like, no. That's not how this works. Like, this is my Stewie Griffin situation. That's my motherfucker to kill if they act up like that. Now, if they go do something on their own, that's a little different. Anyone gonna kill that motherfucker, it's gonna be me. Type thing. But before I digress too far into that, I mean, just, yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, like, I mean that in a good way. It was great, but it was peaceful. I mean, we had a bunch of cats more than anything. You know, standard stuff though. Still, capture the flag, people hanging out. You know, nuclear family still. So Thanksgiving, Christmases, we're still all around. All that stuff. And just like a bunch of animals. Like, we were a big like animal family. There's a picture of my dad holding a fawn. I think he's saved from a trap or like from like a lake or something. He's holding like a little baby fawn, and he's over there. Like, I think he was hunting for deer that day too, ironically enough, nonetheless. But he ended up saving a baby fawn. I mean, I hung out with people in high school. Like, I'd say they're my friends, but I want people to get confused because I really don't give a fuck about these people anymore, personally. It was a weird whole fall. Like, I can get it more into that in the future thing here, falling out a little bit. But, like, I don't know. They weren't my friends. They acted like my friends, but they weren't my friends. I gave them an opportunity to be my friends, and they didn't take it. They really chose that day. Like, this is way more into, like, adulthood type thing, but they really chose that day to not be my friend. It could have went a lot different, and it would have been a lot better than they thought was going to happen if they would have admitted to it. But they wanted to piss that away, so I let them piss it away. And my life's gotten better for it. Really, it has. And I can see them trying to crawl back at me. Hey, Sandra. But I can see them trying to crawl back at me. And I just don't want no part of it. Nothing good was going on in my life then, and nothing would go good in going in my life now, further with that relationship. So that's something I've chose against. Like, I'm sorry if unfortunately somehow that message gets relayed to them, but like, I have no interest in like being around them. Because, like, the more I get into a situation here, once I get older in this story, like, it makes a little bit more sense. But, yeah, not a whole lot went on to, like, 4th through 12th year. So that's my dad getting laid off from besides the job he worked at and, you know, being the longest working employee there. He'd be the first one laid off and everything. I mean, maybe like one impactful thing is my mom, again, like I said, my mom was like she was big into like medical care, like senior living and stuff. Like, she was taking care of an Alzheimer's patient. Oh wait, I got okay. I got a couple things actually through fourth through 12th grade, but like yes, you think you're an Alzheimer's patient. That one was a rough thing to see. It was rough waking up every morning and having to talk to an older lady and having to explain myself to her every day. That was pretty rough to see. And I'm not saying that in as like, oh, my mom's a bad mom for bringing her work home. I'm saying that in the sense of I'm this blessed that even though I'm this young, like like I could be that. Like that's how I was looking at it, and it was just like I could be that, and it's just it was a sad thing to see because they genuinely seemed like a very nice human being. It was just they were just at an unfortunate part in their life. Um, I mean, other than like reoccurring I wouldn't say nightmares, but dreams I have about that house is like interesting to me. And I've even talked to my mom about it because like I have like dreams about that house for some reason with a fucking back door. I don't know what it is. I keep going to the back door of that house and I can't lock it. And like, albeit I don't see anything coming to the back door in the dream, it's me getting to the back door and locking it, and I can't lock it. No matter how much I like lock it, and it still doesn't lock. I can still open it and shut it. It won't lock. I mean, I've had dreams about this place and me owning it, people coming over, we're having a party there. Besides, like me having dreams, like I said earlier in another stream where I was holding this woman, I was looking at her son. I've had a dream about that house with her there and her walking in a bedroom that was ours, that was originally our parents, my parents. I was over here setting up rafters for like a birthday party thing, and someone said something to me, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna bitch smack you. Because they made a joke about somebody else, because there's a lot of other people here in this dream as well. Because the same person I was threatening to bitch smack was like somebody I've met in my life when I was more of an adult at the time that claimed to have like FBI, like SWAT connections too, nonetheless. I was standing on one side of the ladder, they were standing on the other while we're hanging up this like birthday banner thing, and it's like, bro, I'm about to bitch smack you. This was in that dream. I dream about that house all the time. I mean, hell, even like, because like not a whole lot happened between like fourth grade and I in like 12th grade. I mean, it's standard typical shit. Like anything I was doing and then there was like a lot of shit I did with my brothers that were older than me in like high school at the time. Then I was like in like middle school, so I got through that and like had fun then. And then I became the voice of reason when it became my time around my friends. Like when it was like, you be with a group of friends and your friends want to do something, I'd be like, no, let's not do that. Let's do this. And it'd be a little bit more G rated. So if like the cops were to actually get involved, like, homie, like we can't even get arrested. They can't even write us a citation. I became the voice of reason of my group. Because I did that with my brothers. Because my brothers at the time, I was the youngest brother. So, like, they've been through high school. They got their high school friends. I got to hang out with them and have fun with them. And when it became my time in high school, my high school friends, it was like, I became the voice of reason. Like, yeah, let's do some stupid shit. But, like, let's be a little bit more careful about it. Because, like, at the end of the day, you may be 50 and this will come back and bite you in the ass. I was the voice of reason. Because I'm trying to keep thinking, like, I can't really think of anything, like, really significant happening. I mean, maybe like albeit supernaturally a little bit because it like leads to what sounds like a coyote fox. But it was me and a buddy, and we were down at a place smoking weed. And this was years ago, but we were smoking weed, and like something came near us, and it sounds like a coyote fox, but it's the thing I already know, and it's something I've been dealing with for a minute. Because he was like, "What is that? Like, let's go find out what that is." And I was like, "You don't want to get near that." And we were kids at the time. You don't want to get near that at all. And to like specifically point them out, they know exactly who it is with me just saying that. But like, I'll get a little bit further and know, like, if somebody like knows something about it, like, homie, you are on something you shouldn't be on, and like, you're gonna get in trouble. But like, it's peacock, bro. And mind you, I've gotten a little older. We've graduated out of high school at this time. Or no, we ain't graduated out of high school this time. I mean, no. No, no, nowhere near. This is like more like summer vacation type time shit. No, it might have been a little bit. No. No, it might have been a little bit before. I don't think we graduated yet. Because I almost want to say it's 2013, but I don't think we graduated yet. Like drug wise though, like when I want to get into it, like I've only done alcohol, weed, and that's it. I might have popped some pills occasionally, which would have been like Ambien. That's it, just to go to sleep. But this is more like when I got older. Like well out of high school, I'm a grown ass adult at this point. Just a young adult, but I'm a grown ass adult at this point. And I didn't get addicted to it. I just took it. There's some other things I'd admit to, but I only done it once, and I was in a life-threatening situation. And like, no, I have no need to ever do that again. I thought I was gonna fucking die. I literally threw up like like 2 days later, like what looked like a fucking chunk of like potato skin, which was probably my fucking lung. Like I was good. I made a big long post about like we need to stop nuclear war. I didn't think I was gonna live. I mean, I was going on like day 3 of being up, like straight 3 days of being up. I mean, I'm at a house party. I'm over there playing like the new Halo at the time. I want to say Guardians. I was at someone's housewarming party. And I'm over there like passing out, falling asleep a little bit playing the campaign. And my oldest brother's having to wake me up, be like, hey, hey, hey. And it's like, homie, if you knew I'd been up for almost 3 days straight right now. Thanks for keep waking me up, though. No, it was a one and done. This whole, oh, you're once and hooked thing, like, no, homie, like, I'm gonna beat around the bush here a little bit, like, because I don't want this cancel culture to get a hold of this. Like, no, homie, you're a pussy. You're the weakest human being I ever seen. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. All these, oh, you hit it once, you're hooked for life. No, 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 you're not. Until you actually get put in a life-threatening situation, you'll understand that a little bit more. No, that's a you problem, not a me problem. No, you just weak breed. You weak genetics, homie. I know the Lord says be fruitful and multiply, but you ain't one of them. And I say that ignorantly. Because the Lord tells everyone to be fruitful and multiply. I just say that out of ego. But I don't do drugs at all. I smoke cigarettes. Technically, it's a drug. I smoke cigarettes. I started smoking in 2014. I got called in for a Mother's Day shift that I had off. I'll give you $100 if you come in today, and you'll get the tips you met today. You damn right I went into work. What did I do? Go into work, bust my ass off, came from $100. Oh, no, I ain't giving you that. Like, then what'd you call me in for? Like, with literally, like, the cigarette butt you see here, like it is, some of them have lines on the filter. Well, that line there, if you rip it off there, and then, like, as you can see what I have here, like this, with all that tobacco in there, I would take that and put that in a gravity bong or a bowl and smoke it. The head high you'll get from that, it's quick and immediate, but it's a lot stronger than you first puffing a cigarette and the cigarette high actually hitting it. You're over there just, and when I would hit that when I'd first wake up in the morning, and I've been doing that since 2014 till I would say till now, but since 2022. When I did have a house there taking care of my mother, I did have like a ghetto makeshift gravity bong, and it was to smoke tobacco out of. I've been smoking tobacco like that for a while and smoking it through a bowl. Because a lot of shit impactful didn't really start happening until I became an adult. Because, again, 4th through 12th grade was just, typical shit. I had friends and went to school, tried to get with ladies, but got rejected all the time, and just being a nerd, and, going out to eat Fridays, hanging out with friends. It was good times, but, nothing like I talked in my adolescence. And what I was talking about earlier is way off in my adulthood. And it more turns into a situation where somebody had a chance to really be yeah, I'm your friend, and then they blew it, and then they tried to sabotage my life more than they already have, and it's just yeah, I want no part to do with you anymore. Whatever's happened to you, I kind of don't fucking care about. I understand why my dad, when I'd be over here freaking about a cyber soccer situation and everything, he'd be I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I start to understand that more and more every day. At the same point, I'm becoming the same way. I don't care about these people. Whatever the fuck happened to them probably was their own doing, and they're over here trying to blame me for it. And then, them themselves just keep trying to play the victim. But yeah, fourth, yeah. I mean, middle school throughout high school, man, just rejected by all the women. Literally, rejected by all the women. And I gotta be careful saying this because, I'm on a live stream now. There's a bunch of people here and everything, and people will be oh, I tried this, and I'm not here to deal with bullshit. Nor am I here to stir up bullshit. That's the reason I'm not dropping names or anything specific. Standard great childhood, man. Out in the country, able to do whatever the fuck I want. I want a bonfire, I can. I want to go camp out in the woods, I can. Capture the flag and all this fun shit. Early adulthood, man. Bro, Bro, I lost my virginity before I had my first kiss, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I lost my virginity. I put my dick in a pussy before I even kissed a woman. I ain't even had my first kiss till years later after that fact. Nah, homie, I fuck with hoes, bro. I fucked anything that moved. I can't even really truly be honest with you who I first kissed. I mean, it was a woman, yeah, but I can't be like, hey, I lost my virginity first before I ever kissed anybody. No, women didn't like me for some reason growing up. I don't know. When I look at my yearbook pictures, I kind of understand. I should have shaved my face and I should have had a better undershirt. My undershirt was like too long for my overshirt. I almost had it right. I was trying to get it right. um, yeah, 'cause I'm still thinking about like 4th through 12th grade. I was just like a big nerd and everything. So I was being rejected by everybody. Like elementary school, no, I was a huge ass ladies man. I must have scorned some girl, cause like, bro, middle school and beyond, it was done, bro. You might as well fucking took a vice grip, put your balls in it, and just like squeeze them until they explode. Like, bro, I like. Cause yeah, I mean, like, not a lot happened through 4 through 12 at all. I mean, like, yeah, I started cutting myself like junior year of high school. Like I've been cutting the fuck out of myself, bro. It was 7 cuts, 13 cuts, like every day. I don't care if I just cut myself tonight before I go right beside it and slice right there all the cuts. 7 to 13 a night. I'd take maybe like 1 day off a week. I'm not here to promote self mutilation, but like just to tell my story. And then someone's father ends up killing themselves, and